Hello, everyone. Now we will explain about the configuration of link aggregation. We already know what means link aggregation and what's the advantage if we use a link aggregation. So now we will use the lab guide, one lab, to improve the understanding how to use link aggregation. And first, let's say the background. If now one company uses a single core deployment mode for the LAN network to improve the network stability and the bandwidth between devices, we hope to use the link aggregation technology between the core switch and also the distribute switch and also the distribute switch and access switch. So now we hope you can design, plan, and also configure the link aggregation mode. And this is the topology on the left. And the purpose is we hope you can master the configuration command. And also you can know what makes layer 2 link aggregation and layer 3 link aggregation. And we hope you can master the static aggregation and the dynamic aggregation and what's the different configuration. And also if we use the link aggregation, how to provide the load balance. These are our purpose. And here is the topology. If you can use a real device, you also can use a real device to finish the practice. And about the lab requirement, the left switch, switch 1 is our core switch. Switch 2 is distribute switch. And switch 3 is an access switch. In here, left is a server and the right is one PC. So we hope between the switch 1 and the switch 2, we can deploy the static but layer 3 aggregation. Layer 3 link aggregation can be deployed in switch 1 and switch 2. Switch 2 and switch 3, we can deploy the layer 2 function, layer 2 link aggregation. And because switch 1 and switch 2, we use a layer 3 link aggregation, so we will provide the IP address, and the segment is 12.0.0.0/30. And the switch 1 will use 0.1, switch 2 will use 0.2. And between the switch 2 and switch 3, we will use a layer 2 link aggregation. And we also can provide some load balance function based on the source IP and destination IP. About the PC belong to the VLAN 10, and the IP segment is 192.168.1.0, and also have the gateway. Gateway should be located on the switch 2 because switch 3 only is the access switch. And about the server, the IP address is 1.1.1.0/24 segment, and also is a gateway is switch 1. Finally, we hope through the link aggregation, PC1 can ping 1.1.1.1 successful. So this is our lab requirement. So about the configuration, if you want to configure static layer 3 link between switch 1 and switch 2, you have to add this interface into the link aggregation port, and also you have to set the load balance based on the source mic and destination mic. And if you want to configure the dynamic layer 2 aggregation between switch 2 and switch 3, you also have to create the SVI interface in the switch 2 as a gateway of PC1. And another one, you have to set the load balance for source IP and destination IP. And between server and PC located in different segments. So you also have to add the static route to make them can ping each other successful. So this is a configuration idles. And now let's see the detail, how to configure one by one. First is configure static layer 3 aggregation between switch 1 and switch 2. And you also have to set the IP address. So the basic on the switch 1 is first enable in the config T, you can change the name to become Ruijie switch 1 first. And then you can create int aggregation and port 1. Because by default, this is layer 2, so you can change it to become layer 3 first. Then give an IP address 12.0.0.1 30. And another one is you have to add the interface into the link aggregation. Enter range gigabit 0, 0 to 1, right? 0 slash. And also you have to change the mode to become layer 3 first. Okay, then you can add the support group. Port group of 1. Okay, and then you have to set the load balance. Aggregation port for load balance, source, destination, MAC address. So now this is a basic for switch 1. And another one, switch 1 also is a gateway of the server. So you have to enter the interface there too to change the mode to become layer 3 first. And then give an IP address 1.1.1.1 224, the max is 24. So this is a basic configuration of switch 1. And then about the switch 2. Same. Enter, you can change the host name to become Ruijie switch 2. And create the link aggregation first. Switch 1. And the mode is switch 2, switch 3. And give the IP address 12.0.0.2 30. Okay, exist. And another one, you have to add the interface into the link aggregation. Int range gigabit 0/0 to 1. And add them into the group, port group 1. Okay. Yes, it is successful. And another one is you have to set the load balance. Agree. Oh, that's because this warning, that means we add the layer wrong, right? Because now our interface type and the link aggregation type will be different. Now the link aggregation is layer 3, but we don't change the physical interface to become layer 3. So you have to change the mode first. Int range gigabit 0/0 to 1. Change the mode to become switch first. And add them into the port group 1. Now it is successful. And another one, you have to set the load balance for source and the destination MAC address. It is successful. Okay. And except connect with switch 1, it also is a connection with switch 3. So you have to set the aggregation, inter-range gigabit 0 / 2 and 3, and add them into the port group 2. Port group 2, because we want to set the dynamic, so you have to change the mode to become active. Okay, and then because now this is a trunk interface, so you also have to check the interface, check the mode to become interface. Aggregate 2 and switch the mode to become trunk. Okay, and exist. And set the load balance to become source and destination to become IP. Okay, then you can create VLAN 10, right? And the interface is a VLAN 10. Gives the IP address 192.168.1.254. The mask is 424. If your configuration is successful, please don't forget to write the configuration. Otherwise, maybe you will lost. It's okay. Also about the switch 1, you have to write. It's okay. Now 1 and 2 configuration successful. Then about your layer 3, your switch 3, enter configuration to change the host name to become Ruijie switch 3. Okay. And because about switch 3, we only support the layer 2, it's layer 2 link aggregation is enough. So you can directly enter the physical interface. Gigabit 0, 2, and 3. And add the mode, port mode to become 2. And the mode can be active. Okay. And another one is you have to change some trunk configuration on the link aggregation interface. Aggregation 2, you have to switch the mode to become trunk. Okay. And exist to set the interface load balance for source, destination, IP. Okay, and this is a configuration to connect with switch 2, but switch 3 also connect with our PC. So you have to create VLAN 10. And another one is you have to enter the physical interface gigabit 0 and switch the access default VLAN to become VLAN 10. When you create VLAN 10, you also can directly add the interface of 00, the same result. Okay, so now the basic of the link aggregation and VLAN is ready. And another one is for switch 1 and switch 2, we also have to add some routing information. For example, for switch 1 now, if you check your route, we only have direct routes, right? We don't have the routing for PC1. So you have to add the static route. IP route 192.168.1.0 255 255.255.0. And now we will use link aggregation interface as the next hop. Aggregation port 1, 12.0.0.2. This is the next hop. Switch to enter. Okay, so if you check your IP route now, you will find you have a static route to wait the PC1, right? And another one, switch to, also only have the direct routes to connect with PC and switch 1. We don't know how to wait the server. So you have to add the IP route 1.1.1.0 255.255.255.0. And the interface is aggregate 1, next hop 12.0.0.1. Okay, show, now you can show IP route. It is ready, right? And now you can test PC1 and PC2 the result, PC1 and the server. On the server, you must give the IP address first. Give IP 1.1.1.1. Mask is 255.255.255.0. And the gateway is 1.1.1.254. It's successful, right? Now let's test the network connection. First, on the PC1, you can pay your gateway 192.160.1.254. It is successful. And another one, you can pay your server. It also can work, right? And the next step, maybe you can test the function of link aggregation. If one physical interface is broken, can we pay continue or not? For example, on the PC1, you can pay all the time. -T. If you want to stop, you can use a button, count and see. And if we pay now and you're broken or maybe shut down one physical interface on the switch 2 and switch 3, this is layer 2 link aggregation, right? For example, on the switch 2. Enter, and in the physical interface, gigabit 03, and shut down it. And here you will see one interface left from the aggregate port 2, right? Because now the state is done. Okay, and then you can come back to say the ping of PC2. You will find that we can ping all the time without any packets lost. So this is the function of the link aggregation. And then you can no shutdown again to recover the interface. No shutdown. You will find there is a warning. The physical status is up. If you're up, you can join the link aggregate port again. Can successful. And also come back. You can see that's a ping all the time without any packets lost. Right. This is a ping all the time, no any packets lost. So this is the test with the network PC1 and the server, and also the function of link aggregation. So if you want to shut down the layer 3 link aggregation, you also can find the result.
And about this practice, the key point of the lab is, first you have to know only layer 2 interface can be added into the layer 2 aggregation, the same with layer 3. By the switch, the default state is layer 2 interface. So if you want to create a layer 3 link aggregation, you must keep the physical status in this link aggregation status, use the same mode to become layer 3 interface. And another one is, if you want to add this physical interface into the link aggregation, the rate and also your working mode must be set to become full duplex mode. Okay, otherwise the aggregation maybe will fail because they have to do the negotiation or the parameters are saved. And the next step in the layer 2 aggregation, the member ports must belong to the same VLAN. Otherwise, the negotiation also will be failed. For example, one physical link you allows VLAN 10, but another interface allows VLAN 20. They cannot successfully negotiate to become the same member of the link aggregation. That's all. Thank you.